Welcome back to Old Studio Car, the channel where we dive deep into the legends of automotive history and bring them to life for modern enthusiasts. Today, we're going back to the year 1932, a defining year in the automotive industry, because this was the year the 1932 Ford was introduced. Known affectionately as the Deuce, this car became more than just a vehicle. It became an icon that shaped car culture in America and around the world. In this video, we're going to take a detailed look at its exterior updates, performance review, maximum speed, fuel average, and even talk about its price back in the day as well as what it means in today's collector's market. Starting with the exterior, the 1932 Ford stood out immediately for its design and style. Ford completely changed the game with this car by introducing a sleek and more modern look compared to its predecessors. The body lines were more defined, and the stance of the car gave it a strong, commanding presence. One of the most iconic features was the grille. That distinctive vertical bar grille set the tone for hot rods and custom builds for decades to come. The headlights were mounted separately on crossbars, giving the car a bold front profile. Buyers had choices between body styles like coupes, sedans, roadsters, cabriolets, and even pickup trucks. The exterior design updates made the 1932 Ford not only practical but also stylish for its time, which is why it became so popular among both everyday drivers and later on hot rod builders. Under the hood, the performance was what truly made the 1932 Ford revolutionary. This was the very first year Ford introduced the legendary flathead V8 engine. It was a massive leap forward in performance compared to the four-cylinder engines that were standard in many cars of that era. The flathead V8 produced around 65 horsepower, which may not sound like much today, but in 1932 it was groundbreaking. What made it so special was that Ford made a V8 engine affordable for the average buyer, something no other manufacturer had been able to achieve at that price point. It brought power to the masses and completely changed the way people looked at cars. In terms of driving experience, the 1932 Ford offered smooth handling for its time, with a solid front axle and mechanical brakes that were considered standard then. While by today's standards it may feel primitive, back in 1932 it gave drivers reliability and enough performance to handle both city roads and longer trips comfortably. It quickly gained a reputation as a car you could trust, whether you were using it as a family sedan or modifying it later on for racing. Now let's talk about maximum speed. The 1932 Ford with the flathead V8 could reach speeds of around 75 to 80 miles per hour, which was very impressive at that time. It meant drivers could enjoy not just practicality but also a sense of freedom and excitement. That's why the car became such a favorite among early speed enthusiasts and eventually evolved into the foundation of hot rodding culture. Fuel economy for the 1932 Ford was decent for the era. The four-cylinder version managed around 20 miles per gallon, while the V8 averaged closer to 14 to 16 miles per gallon. While the V8 consumed more fuel, buyers were willing to accept that trade-off in exchange for the performance boost. Remember, in the early 1930s gasoline prices were quite low, so the fuel cost wasn't as big of a concern for drivers. Now let's talk about the price. Back in 1932, the Ford models started around $490 for the basic two-door sedan and went up depending on the body style and engine choice. That pricing was considered affordable, especially for a car offering a V8 engine. It was this affordability that allowed Ford to dominate the market and put thousands of these cars on the road. Today, though, the story is completely different. A well-maintained original 1932 Ford or a professionally restored version can fetch anywhere from $50,000 to well over $150,000 depending on rarity and condition. Customized hot rod versions sometimes even exceed that, as they are highly prized among collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. The legacy of the 1932 Ford is undeniable. Its exterior styling set design trends, its flathead V8 changed performance standards, and its affordability made it one of the most important cars of the 20th century. Even today, whether you see one on display at a car show, restored to original condition, or heavily modified into a hot rod, the 1932 Ford continues to command respect. That's our detailed review of the 1932 Ford here on Old Studio Car, covering its exterior updates, performance, speed, fuel efficiency, and pricing. It's not just a car, it's a symbol of an era and a lasting legend in the automotive world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a true classic, make sure to subscribe to Old Studio Car for more legendary reviews from the golden age of motoring.